Good morning, everyone. I am so delighted to be able to be in community with you, even though it is via this recording, which I made at a different time. Yet, knowing that in the quantum field, there is no time or space, knowing that in the universal mind of God, there is only right here, right now. What an absolute gift and blessing it is to be with you right here, right now. So I actually recorded a talk yesterday, which I was all set to send to Ari so that she could show it to you today. And then there's nothing like opening up a newsletter from your co-lead that arrives and seeing that everything that's in that newsletter pretty much makes my talk redundant. And it's not because my message wasn't clear or whatever. It was that Sherry and I were so much on the same frequency. I just don't want to repeat a bunch of the stuff that she said in her newsletter. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, please read Sherry's newsletter that went out yesterday because it is a phenomenal invitation, declaration, and call to action for what community means and what it means to be of service and to show up anchored in the leader that each and every one of us is at our core. So, what I do want to talk about is that many of you know that a couple of weeks ago I was in a collision. And even though I was doing my very best to continue moving through each now moment, navigating life, knowing that I can handle it all, a couple of days ago, I really declined, I guess, for lack of a better word. And when I went to the chiropractor, she did a neurological assessment and physical evaluation and said that because of the concussion that I'm dealing with and the symptoms of whiplash that I'm dealing with, my brain and body need to rest. And so for the next few weeks, there will be other people who are going to be stepping into service for Celebrate and Elevate, members of our community who have some of their time and talent and skills and awesomeness to share. And I am excited for our community for this because even though I may be the spiritual director and even though I may be one of the co-leads of this community, I am also a member of the community, and this is never meant to be the Lesia show. All right. So today I am so grateful for everyone who is stepping into service. Thank you to Winnie for facilitating. Thank you to Sherry for the opening meditation. Thank you to Ari and Glenn for sound and tech. And thank you to all of the hospitality help, whomever it is, probably Ava and Debbie, among other people. And then thank you to our beloved greeters who are the sort of first point of contact for everyone who comes into our building. Thank you for welcoming everyone so openly. And so going back to what I am experiencing right now as um, someone who really likes to be and do and accomplish and be present for. This is a really interesting position for me to be in and a really interesting experience for me to have. And what I am reminded of is that there is a Chinese symbol. I don't know which dialect it's for, but there is a Chinese symbol that means crisis. And it's actually made up of two symbols. One is for danger and one is for opportunity. And so, this one thing called crisis, which some could say that, oh my gosh, our spiritual leader was in a collision, she's got a concussion, she's got whiplash, she's got to stay off work for the next 3 weeks, she's got to stay off screens. How in the world will she communicate? Oh my God, that is all so horrible and so awful. And then there's another way to look at it, at least one other way, if not infinite ways, where is the blessing and opportunity in this? Where is the gift in this? There's a lot of insight in me literally hitting a wall, a stone wall with our truck. And there's a lot of opportunity for opening up to the insight of what it is that I'm experiencing physically, emotionally, mentally, and even spiritually right now as me, an individual who's going through this, as me, the spiritual leader of a community who endeavors to walk the talk and lead by example, and as someone who works with a board of directors who is tasked with running the operations of our organization. And so, what all of that brings me to is our VTC values compass, which Sherry does mention in her email. And I mentioned in my talk many times yesterday, the one that I pre recorded. But I want to show it again because this values compass came from our community. It is not something that Sherry and I came up with and said, this is what we want BTC to be. This came directly from the community. And so when we take a look at our values compass, we see that in the very middle of it is embodiment. And that means walking the talk. That means experiencing spirit. It means expressing as spirit, as love, as God, as infinite potentiality, as often as we possibly can, as intentionally as we possibly can. We also have our four main values here of openness, authenticity, commitment, and love. And this authenticity is something that we're really leaning into this month as we embrace our affirmation, which is I tune into the living frequency of authenticity, allowing the love I truly am to form and inform my experience in every now moment. Yay for me for remembering that. And this is what I really want to invite everyone to do, that every single moment, we are not only at choice, we are choosing. And so every single moment, it is so important for us to choose consciously, to choose with intention. How do we want to show up? Do we want to show up as the love and the commitment and the openness and the authenticity that we truly are? Do we want to show up here where it says knowing, being certain that love is our true nature? Or do we want to show up and then create life and our experience from what is going on around us? For me right now, that would be navigating the symptoms of a concussion and experiencing memory loss and gaps and frustration and not finding words that I want to use to express myself or articulate what it is that I'm thinking. And yet, in that pause, in those spaces, there is opportunity. There is opportunity to tune in and trust and know that whatever it is meant to express in through as me, is doing so with clarity, with focus, with ease, and with grace. It may not always feel like it all the time, but I get to choose whether or not I want to open myself up to having that experience versus being anchored in frustration and anger and impatience and even sadness, all of which are also part of the experience. And so I'm not saying that there's any kind of bypassing going on. If anything, this experience has taught me is that it is so important to process our feelings. It is so important to process and integrate and metabolize experiences. And this is why several times over the last few weeks, I have been introducing different nervous system reset tools in order to remind our system, our bodies, our brains that it is safe and okay to feel and go through whatever it is that we're feeling and going through. It's not about not experiencing negative emotions. It's not about bypassing negative emotions. It's not about knowing God or experiencing the emotions. This is a tool that helps us to be safe in our bodies as we are processing things that can be challenging. And sometimes those challenges can feel negative, and sometimes those challenges can feel exciting and new, but also threatening to our comfort zone, which is something that we're used to. So, what I am inviting this community to do, our VTC community, is to open up to opportunity. And not just with what's happening right now in our community, with me having to take time off to recover so that my brain can heal more quickly, so that my body can heal more quickly, but to look at where in your life is there crisis? And where in your life is there maybe a tendency to lean into the danger versus open up to the opportunity? Because every single moment we get to choose which way to go. And so I'm inviting all of us to be aware of the perceived danger, but also be curious enough to open up to the potential opportunity. And so that brings me to the next few weeks at VTC. I know that in the past, when the headliner, me, hasn't been at the front of the room, there are certain people that won't come. I know that certain people might have an unconscious aversion to seeing someone new, hearing a new perspective, but I am inviting you as a community member who is able to embrace these four values and this purpose of our community that is coming directly from you. I am inviting you to anchor yourself in who and what we truly are, in the certainty that love is our true nature, and to open up to the infinite possibilities of how VTC can express, how it can grow, and how we can build community together. And so I'm asking everyone, show up for Celebrate for the next few weeks, show up for Elevate for the next few weeks, and then show up for the Ginger Coil weekend. I spoke with Ginger at length this morning, about 45 minutes, and the phone call ended with an amazing, super powerful, expansive spiritual mind treatment that she offered me and our community around the circumstances that are happening right now. And I so want to bring her energy and her consciousness to our community. I so want each and every one of you to experience the spirit, the source, the infinite potentiality, the love that Ginger is through her music. Right now, she's touring through various parts of California with her kids. They have road tripped all the way across the country from New Jersey, making memories together in this super awesome experience. And she's really excited to come up to BTC and share some of her talent and some of her wisdom and some of her energy with us. And so, if you're on the fence, I invite you to get curious and open up. If you already know that you're coming and haven't bought your tickets, I'm asking you, what are you waiting for? Buy your tickets. They're available right here, right now through Zeffy.com. And if you think you don't want to go, that's totally okay. But I'm inviting you to check in with why you don't want to go. And if there is any kind of, it's not for me, I don't know who that is, I don't have any sort of assurances or whatever, then I'm just inviting you to open up to the infinite potentiality of your being and know that there is at least one reality that you can tune into where you are having a blast with the rest of the BTC community and all of our other friends who come and join us on the 26th at the Ginger Coil concert. Now, what else? I feel like there was something else that I wanted to say. I will be coming to the Ginger Coil concert. So it is my intention to rest the off screens, which I have to say is such a challenging endeavor with a phone that is a screen, with a computer that is a screen. Although with this, I'm looking at the little white dot there, not at the screen, so that it also looks like I'm looking right at you, so that I can just be with you and not be have energy being sucked by the screen. Anyway, I feel my mind going. I feel myself rambling, and so I'm just going to bring it back to I am so eternally grateful for this community and the fact that out of our two visionings, this is what came about. That our purpose is about embodying spirit, experiencing it in our bodies, in every single cell, system, and organ at the atomic and subatomic level. That our main values are openness, authenticity, commitment, and love. And that this month especially, we get to lean into the living frequency of authenticity and just really experience what is it like to show up as the love we truly are for each other, our community, and the world. And then how we have these four pillars that we get to lean on: transformation, every moment an opportunity to shift, to transform, to experience life from a new perspective, to instead of move into the um, um, the danger zone to open up to the opportunity zone of infinite possibilities. And then to show up knowing that love is our true nature. Be so incredibly certain that no matter what is going on in life, even though something requires tending to, like right now, it's important for me to be off work for 3 weeks, that I'm still navigating this entire experience as the love, as the infinite potentiality, as God that I truly am. And I know and I feel and I trust that for every single individual present. I am knowing this for Gail and John. I am knowing this for Mariana. I am knowing this for Kay. I am knowing this for Glenn, for Ari. I am knowing this for Barb McLaughlin, who front and center, who comes every single Sunday and is our greeter leader. I am so grateful for the 60-ish plus members that we have committed to BTC who have pledged their, I don't want to say allegiance, but are standing with our community anchored in unity, calm unity, right? And not just community isn't a bunch of people hanging out together in the same place at the same time, but that state of being aligned with a common cause, with a common goal, with oneness being top of mind and true of heart. And so, what a gift and a blessing it is to know that there is that in every single individual present, whether in person or online, whether here or then, so everywhere and every when, there is that in each and every individual that is a leader, that is a spiritual leader just waiting to be unleashed out into the world. And right now, this month especially, I am inviting those leaders, that essence of each and every member of our community and everyone who participates, regardless of whether you're a committed official member or not. I am inviting you to anchor yourself in that leadership and show up and help us build community together. Come to celebrate on Sundays, come to elevate on Wednesdays, and then come to the Ginger Coil concert on Saturday, July 26th, and to celebrate on Sunday, where Ginger is going to be our musical guest. I am so grateful for your time and presence and for everything that comes next. I love you. I appreciate you. And I'm so glad you're here. And so it is.